Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Reckles with WTBGold, and today we are talking about ghost iron ore. Now, why should you care about mining ghost iron ore at the start of Legion? Ghost iron ore and ghost iron bar prices skyrocketed, but you could still make enough gold other places with Legion content to where it just wasn't worth it. Not sticking to current content, but now you can. It's amazing, and it's one of the best gold making places out there. So let's get into it. Let's talk about how to make a ton of gold in Pandaria. Also, I forgot to say it, but this is one of the best ways to level up your mining. We're just going to be hitting a ton of ore nodes, so this is fantastic if you're a new miner and you're looking to level it up. Okay, so just to kind of roadmap this, I'm going to show you some of the prerequisites, then I'll walk you through a couple different routes, and then how to optimize it to get my personal record of 1,250 ore per hour. Now, each of these ores are selling for 10 to 20 gold, and the bars are selling for 30 to 50 gold, so you can make a ridiculous amount of money. And when you're posting this, remember to smelt the ghost iron ore into bars, smelt the trillium you get into trillium bars, and use your alchemist to turn the trillium bars into living steel. If you don't know how much you should be posting, I've got a video up on that you're more than welcome to check out right here. So the first thing you need, and this is really the only prerequisite, the only real requirement, is Pandaria flying. To get it, go to the Panda Portal Palace, and outside there's a vendor right next to the Flight Master, the Kite Lady. Now next, we're gonna go over the optional stuff. The first thing is mist-piercing goggles. In Mist of Pandaria, there were mists all over Pandaria. And inside these mists, if you had these goggles made by engineers and sold on the auction house for 100 or 500 gold, somewhere around there, ore nodes would appear in these mists. So it increases the amount of ore that's in every lap by about 15%, 10 to 20% around there. The next thing are the Forager's gloves. These have about a 15% drop rate off a rare out in Kun Lai. You can also go to the Timeless Isle and kill the Yongle Foragers out there, but they only have like a 1% drop rate, so you might be out there a little while and get frustrated. But what this does is it reduces the cast time of your mining from 3 seconds down to 1 second. Normally that's not a big deal, but we're going to be mining 300 to 400 nodes, so that's like 600 to 800 seconds every hour. That's 10 minutes that you're saving that you get to fly around looking for more ore rather than just casting. And finally, we've got the Ancient Pandaren mining pick. This isn't a huge deal. It gives you every 80 to 100 ore nodes, it gives you a random Pandaren gem. So not a big deal, but it's free gold. It spawns in a cave. It's actually, just go search for a guide on how to get the Ancient Pandaren mining pick. All right, let's get into the lab, finally. We're going to be starting over by the turtles near the middle of the map up in the north. We're going to fly west. And as soon as we get to this big hill, this big plateau area, fly up to the top of that, head south, just follow the plateau all the way down. Once you get to the bottom of the plateau, head west again to the forest, loop around the forest, just follow the perimeter of the wall all the way down south. And then once you get down to the bottom, just kind of loop around and pretty much just head back to your starting point. Now, if you're in a hurry, that's all you need to know. Get out there, you'll get about 800 ore an hour and make a ton of gold. If you want to increase how much ore you get by about 50% though, get 1,200 ore an hour, keep listening. So here's how mining actually works. There's a minimum and a maximum amount of ore in each zone. So let's say there are 200 possible nodes. Even if no one touches that zone for a week, there's only ever going to be 100 out of 200 nodes up at any one time. There's also a minimum, so if there's 30 people farming a zone, there's only going to be a minimum of 20 nodes up at any one time. If someone mines that 20th node, another one will insta-spawn, and then also every 30 seconds or so, an ore randomly spawns somewhere on the map. So what does this mean? Why is this important? Well, you could just follow from the plateau to the forest, down the perimeter, and then back to the plateau, and do that and make a ton of gold with the ore. But there are a few pockets of ore nodes that spawn that will slowly fill up, and every possible ore node in that zone will be taken. So why does this matter? Why is it important? Well, if you just follow one route and just go for the most density possible of ore nodes, which is pretty much what the basic route's doing, the spots that you aren't touching that has possible ore nodes there will slowly fill up, and every possible ore node in that little area will have ore spawned at it, and you'll hit your cap, where suddenly it just feels like the zone's completely empty. It's not, you just aren't farming where the ore has spawned. So the first change we're gonna make is optimizing our route to get all the ore possible in our main lap. Once you get to the southwest corner of the map, rather than just flying straight back to the pools of purity, go back to the plateau-y area and then follow along the south edge of the heartland. You'll notice a big tower, a big column of rock. Lap around that and head northwest. There's another column in the middle of the heartland. Lap around that, and then pretty much just head back to the pools of purity. That'll get you an extra 10 or 15 nodes inside the heartland every time. And then the next thing we're gonna do is get all the ore that's just kind of scattered around, that has been randomly spawning whenever a new ore node spawns. So the easiest way to do that is just go up the river. There's a little bit of ore that spawns on the river. We're just gonna be kind of cleaning it up so it can spawn in our main lap. And then you go all the way up to Thunderfoot Fields. There's some cliffy things all around Thunderfoot Fields, and also the very northern edge of the map, the mountain range there. Go ahead and follow along that, and there's some good stuff there as you're heading back west to the pools of purity. So that is it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to see the next guide I put out. If you liked this one, hit the like button, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. See you then. Bye.